Hey guys, today we're going to look at Poor Boy by Howlin and how to just kind of play it by yourself on an acoustic guitar. It's a pretty simple song because it's only 3 chords, like all good blues. And it's not really a 12 bar, so it's a little bit different than a 12 bar blues. And I'm going to show you some kind of like ideas for like licks that you can do in between if you want to do a solo. So here we go. So this song's in the key of D. And so for our D chord, we're going to start the song with a D7. But I like to play it up here just because it gives a little bit more tone than playing it like... You could play it open like that if you know your D7 up here, but I like to do it in a bar chord. Now I like to do it where you wrap your thumb around and you're going to do it like this because it allows you to kind of transition to some licks and stuff, but you could just do a bar chord. So we'll just do the bar chord for this. Alright, so it's you bar everything from the low E to the high E of the 10th fret with your pointer finger there. Then you're going to put your middle finger on the 11th fret of the G string, and your ring finger is going to go on the 12th fret of the A string. That's a D7. So you got that first part. I'm a poor boy, but I'm a long way from home. And the strum pattern just kind of... I'm a poor boy, but I'm a long way from home. I'm a poor boy, but I'm a long way from home. And then you're going to switch to an A7, which is the same shape you did here. You're just moving everything to the 5th fret. Okay? And then it goes, what the others do. Back to your D7. The world can't do me no harm. And it's a G7, which is the same shape as we've been doing, but up here at the 3rd fret. And back to your D7. I'm a poor boy, but I'm a A7, long way from home. So that's the basics of the song, right? But I like to do it with the bar chord using your thumb. And what that is, you're going to use your thumb to wrap around and grab the low E string of the D chord. You're going to use your pointer finger to bar from the D string all the way down to the high E with your pointer finger there. And then you're just going to put your middle finger down on the 11th fret of the G string. Not really playing the A string, but this allows for your index finger to play the D minor pentatonic freely, right? So you can kind of just play around with stuff, right? I'm a poor boy and I'm a long way from home. Poor boy, but I'm a long way from home. And you do that again. You just use that shape for the A7 and the G7. So the last thing I want to show you is like a kind of a lick that you could do for a solo. And it's kind of like melodic because you hear this. It's pretty simple, right? You could go. So if you're just playing those notes and you're kind of doing it in between your picking, you got what Howlin' Wolf is singing there. So it goes like this. So you go on the 10th fret of the B string, and then down to the 13th fret of the B string, and bend that up a half step, and then you go to the 10th fret of your high E. So it's, and you play that 3 times. So you're hearing that, and then you go back, you 13 and back to the 10, and that 10 is a perfect transition to the A7. So it's, so that's just a little lick, and that's just like what, a couple of notes there. And then if you throw in that 13th fret of the high E, you can hear the, when he goes to the G7. So it'd be 13, 10 of the high E string, and 13 again. And then you can do that. Now the other thing I found pretty cool is if you're doing this, you know, going back and you get into, when you go to the second time through, you go on your D7 and you're kind of doing the in-between before you go to your G7. just doing kind of like a train whistle kind of stop thing where it goes. So like a little transition like before you go to the G7. And that's just with your pointing finger on the 5th fret of the high E, and the middle finger, it goes on the 6th fret of the B. You bend those up a half step, and then use your ring finger to grab that 7th fret of the G string, and then hit that again, and you're ready to go into a G7 there. So there's just a couple of licks. You don't have to use those, just ideas. But that's the basics of Poor Boy by Howlin' Wolf.